Welcome to the Hidden Secrets. January is not merely the first month of the calendar. In the spirit realm, it is a gate, an altar, and a court. Ancient powers understand this mystery far better than modern believers. Before nations named months, before clocks ruled time, January existed as a spiritual threshold where destinies are summoned, revealed, and programmed. Every destiny that must manifest through a year must first pass through the tribunal of January. This is why altars speak loudly in January. This is why covens, marine shrines, ancestral houses, and timekeepers gather spiritual materials at the beginning of the year. January altars are not built in January. They are activated in January. They are ancient structures already standing, waiting for voice to speak into a man's life. An altar is a mouth. It does not need permission to speak. It only needs relevance. January altars speak because they control time allocations. They decide who enter the year weak, confused, delayed, or bound. They negotiate calendars. They barter months. They assign spiritual weight to days. Many people did not fail because of what they do during the year. They failed because of what was spoken over them before they took their first step. January altars speak before you wake up spiritually. They speak while you are celebrating. They speak while you are counting fireworks. They speak when your discernment is low and your spiritual defense are relaxed. To silence a January altar, one must first understand that altars are silenced by superior authorities, not noise. Many people shout prayers, but do not shift jurisdictions. Altars do not respond to volume. They respond to legality. An altar only stops speaking when it loses the right to speak. That right comes from blood, covenant, ignorance, agreement, and timing. January is dangerous because it is a legal month. What is not challenged in January gains permission to continue throughout the year. Silence in January is interpreted in the spirit realm as consent. Occult system knows that every human destiny has a calendar imprint. The first 13 days of January are especially critical because they form what ancient mystics call the alignment window, where the spiritual spine of the year is set. This is why some people struggle the same way every year. The altar is not repeating itself. The person is re-entering the same spiritual contracts. When an altar speaks against destiny, it does so by planting invisible seeds, confusion in decision making, weariness without labor, financial leakages, relationship conflict, delayed helpers, spiritual dullness, sudden loss of interest in prayer, dreams that vanish on walkings, and opportunities that die quickly. These are not coincidences. They are signatures of altars' activities. Silencing a general altar begins with light. Darkness only rules where truth is absent. Altars lose strength when they are exposed because secrecy is their covering. This is why revelation is warfare. The moment a man understands that time itself can be negotiated, he stops living casually. You cannot silence an altar you still doubt exists. Faith is not belief. Faith is alignment with spiritual reality. Once your eyes open, the altar senses resistance. Awareness alone weakens certain covenants. The second power that silences January altar is rightful voice. Altars speak because voices empower them. Words are currency in the spirit realm. Every time a man says, "This year will be like last year," an altar receives offering. Every time fear is verbalized, an altar is fed. Every time hopelessness is spoken, an altar is strengthened. January altars feed heavily on carelessness. Declarations, silence is not enough. Replacement is required. A higher voice must override the lower voice. In the spirit realm, the last authorized word stands. This is why prophetic utterances is dangerous to dark systems. When a man speaks from identity and alignment, not emotions, the altars must retreat. Blood also silence altars, but not all bloods. Altars respond to blood because blood carries memory. Ancestral altars speak because blood remembers. Marine altars speaks because blood has been dedicated through covenants of pleasure, lust, and sacrifice. Occult altars speak because blood was spilled, knowingly or unknowingly. The only blood that silenced permanently is the blood that introduced a superior covenant. This is why redemption is not religious language. It is a legal warfare. When a destiny aligns with a higher blood covenant, inferior altars lose jurisdiction. They may still shout, but they no longer have authority. January altars also lose power when time is reclaimed. Fasting is not hunger. It is temporal withdrawal. When a man fasts in January, he steps out of normal time and enters consecrated time. Altars that rule regular time struggle to operate when a person moves into sanctified time. This is why occult practitioners fear consecration. Consecration disrupts monitoring system. It builds spiritual coordinates. It makes a man difficult to track. Another mystery of silencing January altar is strategic obedience. Many people pray but disobey instructions that will break covenants. Altars hide inside habits. They embed themselves in cycles. When an instruction is given and obeyed, an altar loses its anchor. Sometimes the instruction is to forgive, sometimes to disconnect, sometimes to restore, sometimes to give, sometimes to leave a place, sometimes to return to prayer. Obedience is not moral, it is surgical. It removes the altar landing pad. Child of God, January altars fear consistency. They thrive on enthusiasm that dies in February. When a man maintains spiritual discipline beyond the excitement of a new year, the altars weaken gradually until it becomes silent. Many altars do not die loudly, they starve quietly. This is why perseverance is spiritual violence. The altar expects you to stop. When you do not, it begins to lose relevance. Ultimately, January altars are silenced when a destiny take its rightful place in the divine order. Order is the enemy of chaos. When a man aligns with purpose, prayer becomes sharp, decision becomes clear, and resistance becomes automatic. Altars do not argue with authority, they withdraw from it. The goal is not to fight altars every year, but to rise above their jurisdiction. When a destiny moves into its ordained altitude, lower altars can no longer speak audibly. January will always be a gate, but not every gate must be entered as a victim. Some enter as witnesses, some as prisoners, but others enter as lawmakers. When a man understands the laws of the beginning, January stops being a month of attack and becomes a month of enforcement. At that point, the altars does not speak against the destiny. The destiny silences the altar simply by existing in power. God bless you for watching this video. Before you leave, if you're new in this channel, kindly subscribe, share, like, and leave your comment in the comment section. God bless you. I will see you in my next episode. Bye for now.